Right, hello. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the 3D Zelda dungeons. Every single one. Now, emphasis on the 3D part, this won't include games like Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds, and obviously the new one, Echoes of Wisdom. I haven't even played that one, so it would be unfair to rank it. I feel like it'll be a bit scummy as well to do it literally the day after it launches, but hey, it's 3D, doesn't matter. Because it doesn't technically count. Anyway, we'll just jump straight into it. I'm gonna try and do this a bit quicker. Just generally summarize my opinions as quickly as possible. Decadry, good first dungeon. I don't mind replaying it personally. Gorma's obviously a very easy boss fight, but other than that, it's a decent first dungeon. It sort of falls off a bit with the Dongo's Cavern and inside Jabu Jabu's belly. They're just not as good. The Dongo's Cavern as well, but Jabu Jabu is just horrid. I don't like it as a boss fight. Not boss fight. Boss fights. I don't like the boss fight, firstly, but I also don't like the dungeon. It's not quite F. It does have redeeming qualities, but again, with like carrying Gruto around, it's not brilliant. And I feel like it sort of summarizes the general child section of Ocarina of Time. It's not really as enjoyable as the adult section. I feel like people play Ocarina of Time for the adult section more than the child one, unless you're a pedophile. But accusations aside, Forest Temple is an A. Some people confuse. Why is it not S? Good question. Atmosphere's brilliant. Phantom Ganon's fight is a bit. I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I will say, first time around, brilliant. I don't know why it's like. I will say, what's sort of stopping me from giving it an S is that it just feels a bit like flawed in some areas and can be a bit annoying at times. Like, I don't want also. I feel like ranking wise, S tiers are like near perfect dungeons. I don't know why. Something about the Forest Temple just doesn't quite get there for me. It does have a similar case of what you call it, the Water Temple, where you can miss keys, and I feel like that's definitely an effect. Fire Temple's a B, solid dungeon for Vagia's. Cool concept. I feel like boss fight easy. Water Temple's a C. Replay if you replay it, it's good. I feel like it's definitely enjoyable because you don't really miss out on the small keys, and the reason why it's a lot lower as well because I played the original Ocarina of Time first, and yeah, it's really annoying going through the menu of the Iron Boost. It's sort of already ingrained in my memory. Shadow Temple, Bongo Bongo, easiest boss fight you'll probably ever do. I'm willing to put the Josh Bosch's seal of approval on that. At least that thing is easy, especially if you've got Big Oran Sword. Um, Shadow Temple's very linear, aesthetically brilliant, and I feel like that's what's saving it. Spirit Temple's an A. Brilliant dungeon. Again, I really enjoy it. It's quite interesting how you have to do the first half as a child and the second half as an adult. Really sort of like brings Ocarina of Time like together. Ganon's Castle's a C. Aesthetically brilliant. I feel like it's a bit quick. And underwhelming. It's not as dungeons go. It's not really best. I'm gonna have a bit of a controversial opinion as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf fight. I feel like they've definitely been a lot better afterwards. Uh, Tennis isn't exactly enjoyable. It's just sort of like not timing it, and escape sequence is quite tedious. And then finally the Ganon fight, you can just roll underneath the legs if you like. It's quite obvious as well. It's quite a large like gap under there. It's quite obvious, and you just get a couple free hits in. It might be more interesting if you don't get Big Oran Sword, but if you do, again, it's just easy. Also, even when you get the Master Sword back in that fight, it's like, why would I want to swap back to the Master Sword? The Big Oran Sword has done more damage. It feels like a better weapon. Yeah. So personally, there are better Ganons. I still enjoy it. It's still aesthetically good. It's just they've definitely been better. I feel like it's hard to say the Ocarina of Time Ganon's the best. Right, Woodfall B, solid, honestly solid first dungeon. Snowhead's a bit worse to see. I feel like again Ice Physics is just a bit annoying to deal with. Grit B, F. I hate this dungeon so much. It's the one thing about Majora's Mask it just puts me off from replaying that game. I can happily do the first two dungeons, but as soon as I get to like the Great Bay sort of area, it's so annoying that section. I just don't like it. Which is annoying as well because Stone Tower Temple is absolutely brilliant. It's one of my favourite dungeons. Soundtrack amazing. It like ties in everything beautifully. Only flaw of it, obviously, is the Twin World boss fight in the 3D one. Uh, but obviously if you play the original, not as bad. Obviously I played 3D unfortunately, but still, I didn't mind it as much, but it's slow and it's annoying. To be fair, it could be worse. Right, Moon Dungeons, I feel like it's a bit underwhelming. Bajora is an interesting fight. I don't remember much of the Moon Dungeon, so I feel I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and give it B. Again, really shows it great bit horrid. I hate that dungeon with a passion. No one can convince me otherwise. It's just the water, like, claw mechanics are horrid. Dragaru's solid first dungeon. Quite enjoy it. B. Forbidden Woods, C. It's a bit more annoying. Tower of the Gods is B. I enjoy Tower of the Gods also. Pardon. Sorry, I just had to burp. Forsaken Fortress. Why did I didn't have to say that. Forsaken Fortress D. The first section in the start of Wind Waker. It's so slow and it's not the best. It's about it really. It's really annoying. Phantom Ganon's fun. Oh, I said fun. It's tennis again. Like you do tennis matches with like Ganon enough times, it does get a bit boring. Like really, this again. Earth Temple boss. I don't like. I really don't like the boss. It's really easy. It's just really annoying. But I like the dungeon, so I'm gonna give it a B. I really like it aesthetically. Companion mechanics are a bit annoying. So hey ho. Same with Wind Temple. I think they're sort of on par. It would have been nicer if you could have done them either order. And that's what I thought initially, because it does mark them both on your map. So I thought, oh, I want to do the Wind Temple first. No, you can't. It is annoying. Ganon's Tower, C. I feel like it's wrong putting those two together, but light arrows are very fun to use, but it does make it very easy. Maze aspect. Yeah. Forest Temple, Twilight Princess. I will say Twilight Princess, favourite Zelda game. But, yeah, the first few dungeons suffer. Again, start of the game is really slow and it can put you off from replays. I know it's on a longer one. I think Skyward Sword's longer than it, but still, like, the start of Skyward Sword is easier, or, like, a bit better, but more manageable for me, personally. To be fair, I also have to play Twilight Princess on the Wii U, so, yeah. Forest Temple's, C. Gonna put Gora Mines in D. That is not a good dungeon. Like better than putting in B. I will say, out of all the water temples, it's better. But you know, after you get the Master Sword, things definitely improve. Arbiter's Ground, easy S. Dungeon's brilliant. I love that one. Star-Lord's a very aesthetically good fight. Again, it can be a bit easy. It's a bit more the easier end as things go. Snow Peak, really interesting dungeon, really unique, and I feel like that's what, you know, helps with Twilight Princess. It's not Earth Temple, it's not Wind Temple, it's like something more unique, and Snow Peak definitely helps with that. It would be an S, I feel, if, like, again, Ice Physics is just annoying. It's just something I don't agree with. I don't like him. Temple of Times, I'm going to give it a C, if I'm honest. I feel like those two are brilliant dungeons, and then it sort of falls off with Temple of Time, and then it recovers with City in the Sky, which I'm giving an A. Or maybe a B. I'm in two minds of giving it an A or a B. I think, personally, I'm going to give it a B, because I know there are quite a lot of tedious sections in it. That can be quite annoying. Palace of Twilight, I think it's another B. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much else to say in that regard. Hyrule Castle, we'll say for. I can't. I haven't played Twilight Princess in like a decent amount of time. That's the problem. Yeah, so I'm gonna put Hyrule Castle a bit. I definitely enjoyed it. Ganondorf, I think it's one of my favorite Ganondorf fights. I feel like personally ranking it's either Twilight Princess or Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. I'm not sure which one. Then Wind Waker, then Ocarina of Time, and then I'll say Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure if Breath of the Wild's right at the bottom. Skyview Temple B, again, it's just a solid starter dungeon, can't really say much. I'm going to skip to the Lanayru Mining Facility, ignore the Earth Temple for the meantime, because that's a D. It's just not a fun dungeon, personally, for me. It's quite annoying. Earth Temple's a C. Boss isn't good. Temple's alright. It's not really much. Ancient Systems, definitely an A. I'm not sure if it's an S. I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna give it an S. The boss fight is brilliant. It's definitely one of the best in the series. And I feel like, again, atmosphere, like aesthetic wise, brilliant. Love it. Yeah, and again, as I just said, brilliant boss. Sandship. Oh, time mechanics is enjoyable. I like the dungeon. I hate the boss, so I'm gonna give it a B. The boss really ruins it. It's so bad. Like, it's genuinely horrid. I think it was like, what is it, Celtic who made the video. It's like worst Zelda bosses, and I think it was Celia. I'm not sure if it's Celia. It's not Celia. Isn't that the thing from Monsters Inc? I can't remember what the boss's name is. I feel like I just like put it out of my mind, and I'm so glad. It's so bad. Fire Sanctuary, Girahim, it's all the opposite. I feel like this dungeons go, Sandship's better, but Girahim's a lot better as boss fights go. Skykeep's more interesting. Again, it's more unique, so I'm going to put it in B for that matter, being able to move the dungeon round. Which then it's going to change my mind and moving the dungeons around for the upcoming ones. But yeah, it's more unique, and getting the Triforce pieces is quite interesting. I can't remember if there's a boss at the end, if I want. Again, how many play? I played like Skyward Sword not long ago as well, so that was a Beast confusing. Now, Divine Beasts, into the D tier you go for most of you. If you played, it's a case of if you've done one, you've done them all. I'm gonna give Divine Boris a bit more love. I feel like it's just a bit more unique, but again, as dungeons go, it's just the more freedom with it. That's the problem. I feel like making them more linear makes you it makes more interesting puzzles and whatnot. Like the puzzle box sort of aspect's fun, can be fun, but I feel like the dungeons of all the Zelda games vastly better. Yeah, they are just a lot better than the Breath of the Wild ones, especially the boss fights as well, because they just copy and pasted it. Hyrule Castle's a B though, aesthetically brilliant, and it's like again, it's just nice you can skip to the boss fight or you can actually do it. It gives you more freedom in that regard. Now going to Tears of the Kingdom, I'll do it in the order I did the dungeons. Wind Temple's a C. Golgara, aesthetically very good, not musically and aesthetically very good. As boss fights go, very easy though, because you just sort of dive through the things. I know people shot over virus, I think, the first time, but maybe, I'm not sure. But again, if you realise you can dive through it, it's just really easy. Yeah, it's quite the easy boss fight. Fire Temple's the next one. I feel like that's another C. Nope, no, not D. C. Get in the right place. Yeah, it's could be worse. Could be a lot worse. That's about it. Anyway, let's go down. You can see them down there. Lightning Temple, I'm gonna get a B. I quite like the Lightning Temple. Water Temple's going in D though. Train of Thought, that's annoying. Boss is horrid. Boss is a lot better in this one. I feel like puzzle-wise it's a lot better. Spirit Temple's next. Putting that though down again, it's just not that good. I'm tempted to even give it F. It's horrid. I don't like Spirit Temple personally. They just didn't do a good job with it. It's just very tedious. Get this one part, spend it, just bring it back, do that 4 times, then go on a massive long walk, then do a boss fight which isn't that good. Okay, Floating Hyrule Castle, giving it a C. It's just not as good as the Breath of the Wild one. And then finally I'm giving this one a D. Depths on the Hyrule Castle. I think, again, more linear in approach, but it's just really easy because it's so easy to walk through. It's like you fight a couple things, there's a few things to do, and that's about it. My personal experience, at least. There might have been more to it that I might have just missed. But anyway, that's my rankings of the dungeons. Unless, again, I will say tiers-wise, this isn't necessarily right. But yeah, that doesn't matter. Anyway, again, hope you enjoyed. Maybe let you know what's your favourite dungeon is in the comments. We'll make it interesting. Also, would like to remind you, this is my opinion. You are allowed to disagree. I feel like it's just a good knowledge. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Whether it might be a week, might be 2 weeks, might be tomorrow. Who knows? Goodbye.